Wow, we love your energy, Mansi.
Of course, we are done with 2021. I'm looking forward to 2022.
I was just telling them that 2021 was a roller coaster for most of us.
Yeah.
I mean, I know it was for you and me, and yeah, I'm glad 2021 is over and we are moving forward to 2022.
Yay!
But I do think that 2021 was more of like a transitional year from various different perspectives as well. Like for example,
Definitely.
I think COVID-19 was something if we look at the past 5 decades after World War II, it was one major event that hit all of us globally and had such a major impact
Yeah.
on all our lives. And even now we are in the recovery phase from that if again we are not hit by it because it's been 2 years
Yeah.
of us have been dealing with everything that came along with COVID-19.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think it's an ongoing process, so it is going to take some time.
Yeah, and also like I believe that um because most of the people think that if there are bad memories we should forget those bad memories and move on in life. But I think people, as said by Jordan Peterson, that the role of memory is not to remember things. It is so that you can extract lessons from the past and you can structure your future. But unfortunately, for most of us, we just remember the traumatic experiences and not the lessons that we learned from it and carry forward those experiences rather than, the lessons that we learned from them. So I think
Yeah,
even as we are recovering from COVID, it's important to remember to carry forward the lessons that we have learned in these 2 years.
absolutely. And there were a lot.
Yeah, I mean, 2021 for me started off on a really bad note because I had my health issues and like it started off in January, then it extended till February because, the doctors were not
Yeah.
able to rightly diagnose. And then even if the problem was diagnosed, I was given the wrong medication. So the first 2 months of the year, and it was just a bacterial infection, which shouldn't have taken more than a week. So yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
it's been full of struggles, and then again, uh, we were hit by the second wave, and so on and so forth.
Yeah. I think the same happened with me. In February, I met with an accident. And after that, when I was still recovering from that, I got COVID. And since I got a pneumonic patch, it was just a roller coaster ride for me after that. So I kept getting infections till last month. So the struggles and that's when I realized that even people are not talking a lot about what struggles they are going through when they're suffering from COVID. It
Right.
was more of the precautionary steps, but what to do when you actually get it, and that's where I kind of even struggled with getting more information about. So yeah, it has been a rough year for both of us.
And I think what
But
people are also not discussing is the mental problems or the problems or at the emotional level that people are facing post COVID because COVID is taking a toll on the body. And to recover from that in itself is a battle, which I must tell you that you have fought beautifully and won. So
yeah, yeah.
congratulations about that.
Well, thank you. It's because of the people around, especially like you.
Oh,
So the credit goes to the people around who have been a major support, and that's what you require when you're going through a rough patch, right? The first thing that you require and that you rely on is your support system.
yeah.
So, and what I would say is even if you don't have an immediate one, uh, just connecting with so even what I was looking at is was that just looking at COVID support groups, because those are the people who would understand more about what's happening with me. So even if you feel like you don't have immediate family or friends, reach out to these support groups because they really help you, and then you would also find more solutions, and then you would also find people who would really get your problems much more than, and that's when you're going to feel more heard, because that's what everyone right now requires, right? Someone that you can rely on, someone that you can, someone who can just hear about your problems and that you can just share freely. So I would suggest there are resources out there. So um, please reach out as much as possible because that's what we require in these tough times.
Yeah. And the one important point that you pointed out is to reach out and talk to people because unfortunately in India, no, I don't have COVID. So unfortunately in India, the problem that is there is we are always told to just contain whatever problem we have and not talk about it and to just suck it up. But that is not helpful at all. We need to understand the difference between coping mechanisms and defense mechanism. And avoidance is a defense mechanism and not a coping mechanism. So we really
Yeah,
need to understand the difference between the two because as we have discussed earlier also that defense mechanisms are okay for a short period of time to protect you, but if you
yeah,
have those mechanisms on for as your go-to thing every single time in the longer run, these are the things which will cause more problem than be a part of the solution.
absolutely. Very well said. So, what are your coping mechanisms throughout this year?
Okay, so for me it was so when you're talking about coping mechanisms, I think it's very different for different people. uh but if I have to talk about like coping mechanisms which relate to more physiological aspect of things because that is something which is universal. I think for me it was taking breaks, so doing something or letting my body know that I am not under a threat. So even if like it was something like taking a short break and drinking water, so I made it a point that I would sit down, relax myself, and then drink water, which would communicate to my body that because I think there's a major difference between relaxing and self-regulating. Because a lot of time people, because this is something I've problem that I faced with my client also. There was this one client who was like who had anxiety issues, and I tried to teach him how to not have anxiety, and that person got back at me saying, when you are doing so many things, it's just not possible to step back and uh,
Yeah,
do meditation because obviously when you are confronted with the situation it's not possible to take a step back and meditate. So I think more than relaxation it is self-regulation. So even when you're doing an intense activity, just to let your body know that everything is okay and you are not under any threat. I think that has been my go-to thing for this year. So yeah, like
yeah,
maybe just splashing cold water on my face, um, or as I said, drinking water, or just stretching, like just nice good stretch. So that was helpful for me.
yeah. I think we'll ask Shruti wants to take yoga session also for us on UWL, hopefully soon,
Yeah.
because she's brilliant at that, you guys. So yeah, even it was similar for me. It was more related to breathing for me. So whenever I felt like I was getting overwhelmed, the first thing that I would do is just put my hand on my chest and start breathing. That's it. It's that simple. So just keep your feet on ground. just have your hand on your chest and just start breathing. So that helps with connecting on the ground. So you're present more in the body. Once you're keeping your hand on your chest, it's more of a signal to the body that, you know what, hey, I'm here for you. And when you start breathing, that's when you're more present and you can then be more calm and relaxed. So the first thing that I tell my clients is to breathe in, inhale and exhale just through mouth. Don't do anything else. So you can start with just that simple thing, and that can take it takes barely 30 seconds to 1 minute. But even every hour, if you just do that, you'd realize the change that it can create over the longer run.
Hmm, yes. And one more effective technique which I've used throughout the year to cope with the stress that I was having, like because I also had a lot of interpersonal issues with different people, and it was this technique that helped me through it. So if you feel like, if you're being uh if if you feel the anger surfacing or something, this is one technique that has worked for me, because it often happens that you're all worked up, and you know that it's not worth getting into a fight, but sometimes because there are triggers, it could be with your boss, it could be with your family members, it could be with a friend. But one thing that you can do is just yawn, like do a fake yawn, and it is impossible that the anger would stay. So let's take a minute and let's do a fake yawn.
Hmm,
And
that actually works. I love this.
so instantly your body is relaxed. So from the fight or flight mode, it just goes back to rest and digest mode. So which is like a great coping mechanism if you are actually faced with a threat. Like when I say threat, it means like a confrontation, a conflict with someone that you want to avoid. So this has worked wonders for me. Of course,
This
the
is
other
a brilliant technique.
thing that why are you yawning when you're having such an intense discussion? But
Yeah,
it just works.
that's great. I'm definitely going to do this now. I can think of so many situations where I can actually do this.
So, Mansi, since you were talking about breathing techniques and everything, I think let's do one of the techniques. So, if you can teach us something which will help calming down.
Yeah, let's do it. Okay, so close your eyes. Shruti is our dummy model for now. So relax. Just take a deep breath in through your mouth and exhale through your mouth. Just take a deep breath again through your mouth and exhale through your mouth. Notice whatever is happening in your body. Focus on your feet, on your hands. Pay attention to what's happening in your stomach, in your chest, in your lower back. Relax your back even more. Relax your shoulder. Focus on your neck muscles. Relax more. Focus on your throat. Keep breathing and relax even more. Pay attention to your face, your jaw. How is your head feeling? Is it heavy? Is it light? And relax. Now keep a hand on your chest. Now inhale through your nose. When you inhale, your belly should go out. And exhale through your mouth. Okay? So we're going to inhale 4 counts. 2 counts we hold, and then we'll exhale for 4 counts. So let's begin. Keep one hand on your chest. And inhale 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold 1, 2. And exhale 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's do it one more time. Inhale 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold 1, 2. And exhale 1, 2, 3, 4. Notice what's happening in your chest. Inhale again. 1, 2, 3, 4. And hold 1, 2. And exhale through your mouth. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's do it a little slowly now. Take a deep breath in. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold 1, 2. And exhale 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, while exhaling, just exhale all the thoughts and feelings that are coming to you. Let go of it through your mouth. Everything that you're feeling in your body, just let it go through your mouth. So inhale 1, 2, 3, 4, and hold 1, 2, and exhale 1, 2, 3, 4. Relax. And you can repeat this exercise as long as you would want to. Rub your palms and keep it on your face. Just hold your face in your palms and you can say whatever you would like to your body. Hi, body, I'm here for you. Thank you. And you can slowly open your eyes.
Wow. As you guys can see or even hear, that was a great breathing routine by Mansi. And I don't know if you guys realize it that when you're doing this, it's very natural for you to actually start salivating, and that's an indication that your body is relaxing.
Yeah. And also, so when we are working, there's a lot of information that we are constantly absorbing, right? It might be sensory, it might be mental, but our body requires dissipation of this information. So when we are present in our body, when we are constantly going through these emotions and thoughts, what our body requires is just space. So once we start breathing, we just get that space that is required, and there's a lot of dissipation of information that happens. That's why we feel so relaxed and more calm.
So, as we were talking about carrying forward the lessons from the past to structure your future,
Mhm.
so what is one lesson that you are carrying forward from maybe 2021, 2020 to the
Well, I
future?
think one was COVID really taught me moderation, you know. So
Did it?
moderation in terms of I was a person who would I still am kind of, but more of a person who would overwork or so just what COVID has taught me is to first listen to your body
Mhm.
because health is really wealth, and I get that now. And just doing everything in moderation is a good way to adult as well, I feel like. So even sleeping for 14 hours is not something that is healthy or helpful to you. So it's the same with work or whatever you're doing. If you're overdoing it, it's somewhere it will hamper you in the long run.
Yeah, and the earlier you recognize it, lesser would be your recovery time. Otherwise, once the damage becomes irreversible, there's no
Yeah,
point even recognizing or because there's nothing that you can do about it. So I think that's a great lesson
yeah,
kind of take forward because that is something which does shape your future beautifully. Me,
yeah,
I think lowering my expectations from people and from myself because you have to see the people for who they are and not whom not what you want them to be.
yeah,
Lowering my expectations from myself because sometimes you need to reach out to people and ask for help because you cannot manage everything on your own. And I think this is one lesson that you have taught me uh, by being there for me. And so, yeah, I think this is one thing which I am taking from 2021.
Yay! And what would you like to do in 2022?
Hmm. So, 2022, I think I'm going to devote it to my growth, to myself, doing the things that maybe due to pandemic or due to uh, my health reasons that I wasn't able to do, but
Hmm.
definitely travel more uh, because I've realized that uh, this is some one area of my life which haven't explored because I haven't done solo traveling or even traveling so much. But I have realized that traveling is such an important part of growing because it helps you to meet so many different people. It gives you so many different experiences. It
Yeah,
teaches you um disaster management as well. So I think
yeah.
that's something which I would love to do given the situations if they improve in 2022. What about
I'm
you?
really excited. But no, I get what you're saying because that's what happened to me when I went on a solo trip. Like, for everyone out there, I would recommend if you haven't done that, please do that. And yes, travel more because it's a learning experience and it's something that teaches you a lot about life also if growth is something that you're committed to.
Yeah,
My goal is again self-growth because both of us are just like that. Yeah, majorly to devote more time to myself and especially my health.
right.
And just to build on whatever I've created till now. So it might be relationships, it might be the work that I'm doing, and so on. So I just want to keep building more on that now that my foundations have been laid.
That's one. And I'm looking forward to it because I know that I'm going to be witnessing that growth in you, and I'm very excited about that.
Now
Hmm.
you're a major fuel to that. So that is Shruti being uncomfortable. Yeah, and don't forget, guys, we are also going to come up with a live or something of that sort in a couple of weeks, where we talk about what you can do if you're not able to go through the New Year resolution. Even how to go through it is something that we will discuss so that it doesn't become another task or another to-do thing for
Yeah,
you
and
guys.
take it as a challenge, or don't take it as something that, or rather, we would talk about it in
Yeah.
life.
Yes. So stay tuned for that because I know a lot of people have already reached out to me saying that, how do we follow through? So that's what we're going to talk about. So in some or the other way, we will come up with that very soon.
I think on that note, let's wrap up today's live. And it was so great to, connect with our listeners again. One of our New Year resolution is to do episodes more regularly, but uh, see how much we are able to follow up on that.
Yeah. I think you guys can keep a check on us then.
All right. On that note, Happy New Year, guys. Take care.
Happy New Year! Bye bye. See you in 2022.